So lads, I really wish I didn't have to make this video, and I just cannot state that clearly enough. I would rather be positive about this game, especially a game where there is a lot of stuff to be positive about. They fixed MyTEAM Unlimited. That, in the grand scheme of things, seems to be the positive. Everything in this game that was there on launch day was a huge positive. But this has to be addressed, and this can't go on. This, simply put, can't go on. And I understand this is not a negative for everybody. I cannot be more clear. This is not a negative for everybody. If you have infinite time, this is fine. But we are not in a pandemic anymore. We do not need 50 hours a week of playing this game to get anything. That is a repeat, to get anything in order to be playing this game. Video games are meant to be fun at the end of the day, and what is going on right now is actively discouraging the vast majority of your player base. It is actively driving players away. I cannot be more clear about that. This is actively driving players away, and I talked about it last week. Nothing here is consumer friendly, because everything from these cards being VC only. Is it actively driving players away? No. It's pissing off players. Like, why not make them 30 KMT? 30 KMT! These cards are not worth 30 KMT. Wow, I got him hollow. Could not give a damn that I get a hollow Jaden Ivey. I'm evoing him, and then I'm probably going to sell and buy back. Then we've got, obviously, Mark Williams, and then we've got this card right here. I actually like the fact that you can buy cards individually with money. It takes away the gambling aspect out of the game. But the fact is that if you are from a country where you can't get VC, or you are a kid who doesn't have access to VC, the only way to get these cards is by gambling. And the only way to get Cade Cunningham, which could be your favorite player, is by literally gambling if you are someone who does not have access to VC, which is not a good thing in my opinion. But anyway, let's forget about that. Now we're on to the season agendas. So 35 clutch time, off time, 35. So, Donovan Mitchell's grinds last week. The big thing with Donovan Mitchell's grinds was the steals. Outside of the steals, which was 163, outside of the steals, the double-doubles, the 7 double-doubles, took me about an hour and a bit. It's about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half for the 7 double-doubles if you just beat them using the skills challenges. So let's just say 90 minutes, just on the high end. 90 minutes for that. The 3-point shots were about 90 minutes, scoring 100-something 3-pointers. And then while you're doing double-doubles with Jazz players, you can combo them all up. So you get almost all your points with the Jazz players during your double-doubles at a 300. So let's just say an extra like 20 minutes. So it's about 3.5 hours outside of steals. And the steals could be gotten by just playing the game. So if you played quite a lot of this game, you were going to get those steals. 160 steals in a week is what people are going to get. And outside of that was about a 3.5 hour grind. So we were all happy about that. What we're not happy is this. Like, you are not naturally going to complete this. If you are a good player at this game, you are really good. And I'm going to put it out there. I'm really good at this game. I won 23 of like 26 clutch time games. I have won all 4 of my last TT online games. Triple chat offline, it's easy. Clutch time offline, you're not going to lose too much offline, and I'm 1 of 1 in limited. For me, this is going to take 20 to 25 hours. For somebody that's winning 50% of their games, and that is not the average player, because the average player is being turned off at his game mode. The average player is winning about 25 to 30% of their online games. This is more than a full-time job's worth of hours for a week. And you only have 1 week to complete it, and that's the issue. You only have 1 week to complete it. And then this. Score 55 points and get 12 rebounds with a small forward in a single game. Okay, you can do that with LeBron James. So at least, thankfully, that gives you... So 103 points with Lakers players. Score all these points with Lakers players. Okay, fair enough. You can do all that. Play 10 games all using 10 Lakers players. Play 20 games using 10 Lakers players. Look, buy all the cheap Lakers players. You can get this done playing against low difficulty CPU. But we shouldn't have to do that. Like, the big thing is that this right here, whatever about the points... The big thing why I really like the Mitchell grind was that the vast majority of that could be obtained while actually just doing stuff in the game. This involves you spending at least 12 hours not really playing the game. Not really playing the game, and I'm being dead serious with that. The only way you can really get these points, these games, and be able to complete all of this, like, we all thought Mitchell was the perfect length. It was about 8 hours. This is a grind that if you just are naturally playing the game, is a 20-hour grind because of this right here. The not 541 assists, you can just get those whole triangles, not the worst thing. 600 rebounds. The only way to get this in a somewhat reasonable amount of time, people are saying 10-hour grind. You got to chuck bricks for 10 hours. There is about 4 hours worth of chucking bricks. There is 4 hours of chucking bricks. Like, this is not meant to be work. This is not fun. And I understand the point is, like, people want stuff handed out. But no, the grinds have to be fun. Like, the point of grinding a video game for a card isn't necessarily, like, I understand with the Mitchell one with steals, they were painful, man. They were painful. But at least if you just said, screw it, I'm just going to play the game, you might naturally get those steals. You cannot get this amount of rebound with Lakers players. Do you want to know why? Because look at the Lakers players in the game. Look at the Lakers players in the game. One, and I repeat, there is one that is going to get rebounds in any game mode unless you play TT offlane and chuck bricks. And it's Anthony Davis. Look at how bad Lakers players are at rebounding. Lakers players freaking stink in this game. Like, if you go to team, I hate ranting, but this is rant worthy. And I'm sorry. I understand. I came into this year being like, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more positive. I'll gladly, again, devs don't like me. I've said things that are definitely where the Lakers. Drew Davis. Anthony Davis. Can I just get Lakers players? These basically are the Lakers players. How do you search for Lakers players? Include secondary, show evos, show duos, like tier. Can you search for Lakers players? I'm really confused. All players, cards. I don't think you can. Either way, there's like Odom, Anthony Davis, and these bums. And if you didn't get worthy, you're kind of screwed. Like, you can't even search team Los Angeles Lakers here. Either way, there's no good ones. There's no good ones at all. And like, this is a video I don't want to put on the DBG channel. I actually don't. I want to make this channel more edited, but I have to put this here because I'm not putting a video as important as this on a second channel. And you know what? I couldn't care less if I'm rambling a little bit. I kind of need to ramble. So basically, a lot of people are saying, oh, there's too much to do in 2K. 2K giving us all stuff to do. Have they? Have they? And I want you to answer this real question. Have they given stuff to do for the average player? Because if you don't complete all of this in a week, so if you don't have, let's just say, 10 hours to just ignore actually having fun in the game and just go for tedious offline grinds, chucking bricks in 1 week, you get nothing. If you don't have 10 hours to do that in 1 week, you get nothing. If you are 1 rebound short and you complete everything else, you get nothing. There's nothing worthwhile on the way. This is not like the Darryl Griffith challenge, which it should be, because this Elgin Baylor is about the level of Darryl Griffith last year. You complete a couple of challenges, then you get an Emerald Darryl Griffith. Imagine you complete a couple of challenges, you get a Sapphire Elgin Baylor, a couple of challenges, a Ruby Elgin Baylor, a couple of challenges, an Amethyst Elgin Baylor, and a couple of challenges, you finally get the Diamond Elgin Baylor. Because at least it means you're getting little rewards working towards something. This, you're getting absolutely worthless rewards. You're not getting XP. You're not working towards level 40. You're highly on. The only real way to do this effectively is by playing rookie domination or these same skill challenges over and over again. So you're not working towards any other goals. You're only working towards this specific goal. You can't really do this effectively while working towards Andre Iguodala. You can't combo up these things and work towards multiple things. You can't do this by just having fun playing the game, and that's where the issue is. That is the issue. If you want to grind for these cards, you can't just have fun. And that's why I didn't mind the Mitchell grind. That's why I hate this right here. And the big issue is people saying, oh, there's too much content. BS. Because look at this. For 99% of players, you're not going to say, let's just say 95% of players have 10 hours a week or less to play this game. No, let's say 15 hours a week or less to play this game. Your video games are meant to be something to escape real life. Video games are meant to be something that we do for fun. Imagine if you have 15 hours to play video games. With multiple video games out there, you could be playing any other video game, and if you want to, so maybe you've only put 10 hours of your time to 2K, maybe 5 hours in other video games. And if you have all your time at 2K, imagine spending 2/3 of your leisure time chucking bricks and playing as the rookie CPU to get a card that is 1% better than Abaji, who is not significantly better for the vast majority of players, who's probably worse than token LeBron James. I thought this grind was going to be easy because this card is not very good. It's not. And this card is not the problem. It's the entire thing of the game mode. Everyone's like, oh, the Andre Iguodala grind. This is an alternative for RNG. No, it's not, because RNG doesn't exist anymore. That's the issue. It used to be about a 1% chance. Most people, if you played TT offline, I got most of the TT offline awards last year when I actually played TT offline. If you played 50 TT offline games a season, there was a 50-50 chance that you were going to get a TT offline award. If you play 500 games of TT offline, there's a 1% chance you get the reward. And I'm someone who got an RNG reward. I'm the only person I've ever seen get Lamar Odom off a wheel. I've seen Iguodala show up on one TT offline board, and I asked 1,000 people in chat and see if anyone can send me a picture. I've seen one. It's 1,000 people one day. Every day on stream, I ask, if you see these RNG cards on a board, send me a picture. So probably at least 7,000 or 8,000 people have heard that. I've got one picture. One. Hundreds of thousands of combined games. One person has seen them. There is such a low chance of getting these cards RNG that it has become close to mathematically impossible. There are literally thousands of games which open a vault, which open an RNG chance, played every single minute. Played every minute. And the vast majority of people will not see any of these cards. So because this is not an alternative to RNG, the RNG rewards are so low that we may as well say, screw them, they don't exist. This is the only way we're going to get these cards. And the problem is with this current concept is we look at this and people are saying, oh, there's too much to do. No, there is nothing to be gained from not completing one of these. So we look at this, see how long it takes, and then turn off our consoles. Say, we're not bothered. Why would we play this game? Especially because a lot of the casuals of 2K are also casuals of FIFA. Why would you do this when in FIFA you can go and play an hour and go and get, I don't know, a freaking one to watch 82 overall card? You can play an hour in FIFA 21 when it launched and get a one to watch Jota. You can play an hour or two and get one to watch Camavinga, an interesting player. Maybe not this god tier player, but an interesting player. Whereas you get nothing. There is no reason to play this game. And that's the scary thing, is that you might be saying like, oh, like, you just can ignore these. Sure, we can just ignore these. But what are we playing the game for? Like, what are we actually playing the game for? But there is simultaneously too much and nothing to do. You might be saying, oh, but like, you can get all these cards for the trophy case reward. Right now, it is impossible unless 2K bring... Unless you were if you started this game 3 days in and you didn't get the trophy case cards, it is impossible to get a trophy case card. I'm not even joking. With everything in game, you cannot actively do stuff to get a trophy case card unless you get the 9 from the trophy case. You gotta rely on the freaking RNG gods, which is BS because I've got this DeMar DeRozan jersey 3 times. I've got this Michael Jordan jersey twice. And look at how few of these trophy cards I have. Why do have I gotten 3 duplicates of this and I've gotten duplicates of this? The vast majority of trophy case cards I open are duplicates. And look at how few I have. Like, you literally, if you didn't play that first weekend, you're praying to the RNG gods. You can complete every mode and you're still praying to the RNG gods to get even one of these. As of right now, unless they bring stuff out in the token market, as of right now, you can only get one of these cards. So we're not playing for it. We're not grinding for a trophy case. We're not actually doing that. There's no point in doing that yet. For most people, there's no point in grinding for any of these. Because, well, if you want to get level 40, you have to do something completely opposite. It's basically, they've put 5 gigantic grinds in the game that are going to take all of our time to just play the one grind. If you want, you cannot do multiple things in this game. Sorry, camera's out of focus. You cannot do multiple things in this game. And because of that, it is incredible. They've overwhelmed people by so much with no small incremental rewards. You cannot overwhelm people. If somebody wants to go and play a multiple different game modes, they want to play a couple of clutch time games, a couple of games of different modes, they're not being in any way rewarded. There is no issue. There would be absolutely no issue if they made Andre Iguodala a slightly worse card. And I know, sorry Ty Debo, I'm sorry comp players, when you guys really want your Iguodala, and this game is good for you guys. This game is good. You get your chance at your Iguodala for free. But these are the people that have 500,000 MTs. They're gonna they would buy the card anyway if it's on the auction house. But why couldn't we just gotten an Iguodala with gold clamps? Give him his half clutch shooter. Give him some worthless Hall of Fame badges. Give him slightly worse defense. A 83 pointer instead of an 84 3-pointer, and reduce this to 15 clutch time games, reduce this to 15, 15, or 15, 20, 15, 20, and 5. It lowers this to like a 7-hour grind in a week. And I think the vast majority of people will be a lot more happy with that and a slightly worse card. Sure, this is great for the 1%, but the 99% would rather a card that they have a shot of getting. And that's where the big issue is. And don't get me started on what you've done this week in packs. Don't get me started on this. Look at the odds right here. There was a 14% chance last week of getting a 90 plus rated player. A 14% chance. In 93 out of 100 of these packs, you are not going to get one of the promo players. In 93 out of 100, HDB opened $100 and didn't even get a ruby. He didn't even get a ruby. And then we have the audacity to see next makers being like, oh, everything's more expensive because of inflation in the real world. It's a video game, man. You don't need a lower pack odds. I can guarantee you, raising 92 plus, if this is all about money, raising 92 plus to 5% and raising 90 plus to 20%. Actually, no, that's probably too much. Keeping 90 plus at 14% and putting 92 plus to 5% and 95 plus to 2% will make you more money in the long run. I can guarantee you that. And this is not what is happening is not only harmful for the player base, it is causing casuals to leave. It is causing hardcore players to leave. I don't want to do this. No one gets excited anymore for these rewards. No one gets excited. The only thing I'm excited for are these Sapphire cards. Simply put, the only thing I get excited for in this game in general are Tuesdays for these cards. They're Tuesdays for these cards right here. And of course, he's feckin' steals. Of course he steals. Of course he steals. Of course he steals. And he doesn't have glove. You literally have a steal requirement for someone without glove. Absolute BS crap again. But like, they're the only things I get excited for during the week are those cards. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing I get excited for. Because every week, every time on Friday, I know I could not give a damn who this next takeover card is because I'm not going to get him. I was dreading Elgin Baylor because I was like, what if he's a long grind? I don't want to have to grind him. But I might just have to do it for content. And this is my job. This is my job. And when I see a card, I no longer get excited. I dread what ridiculous grind I'm going to have to do to get him. Actually getting these cards sucked every bit of fun out of the game mode. And then the logic of, oh, you just don't have to get them. Then what can we do? What are we meant to do then? You know what we're meant to do then? Hit this button. But hit this button doesn't even matter because cards don't come out of packs. So people are going to open their box, they're going to get nothing. It makes no difference. It makes no difference. This is a game that launched really well. Had great ideas. The trophy case rewards were really good. But the problem with the trophy case rewards is people can't just do them on their own time. Because you could do one of them straight away, and the rest of them are related. You have to pray to Orange Jesus if you want to get any of these cards. First of all, you can only get one because there's only one, I think it's Legendary Franchise Moments card. And then, after, unless they put more cards in the token market, I think you can get one. I think you can get, maybe you're able to get a second one by actually like grinding out every game mode. If you complete all 5 centerpieces, you can get 2 of these cards. And then you just got to sit there and wait. Like, at least let us get them. If somebody wants to go out all out and get Jimmy Butler straight away, let them. You're only going to give 5 in season 1. And we're cool with that. We're cool with that. But like the trophy case reward seems to be this entire year-long thing. And by Christmas, these trophy case rewards are going to suck. And we're still going to be sitting on our third division, on our 15th trophy case card. Where it's like, oh well, like, yeah, we're just getting a bunch of like nonsense pink diamonds now. Okay, we get Dr. J. But then once we get Dr. J, until we get Larry Bird, we're basically getting nothing. We're basically getting 15 useless cards to get Larry Bird. Like, it is the most it's just a bad way of looking at the game. It is the biggest issue I have with the entire planning of my team, and it's been the last 2 years, is that I can guarantee you this gets fixed, by the way. I think this stays for season 1. I think they've had this whole plan for season 1. I think they're going to test out the waters and see how it goes, and I think there's going to be so much backlash that season 2 it's going to change. But they did the same crap last year with the 100. I think this is what happens when you make decisions when a group of people, I'm not going to say, like, again, I think they're a genuinely talented development team. I think they are. But this is what happens when there is nobody to think about what the downsides of certain decisions are. This is what happens when you only look at what can be the positives without looking at the negatives. Because there are positives to this. Positives to this, competitive players can get the best players in the game for free if they devote their lives to the game. Negatives, if you don't devote your lives to the game, you get nothing. You get nothing. Positives, like that's basically it. That's basically it. This was a situation that I can guarantee was made based on feedback from players. But it was made based on feedback from the wrong players. It was made based on feedback from the wrong players. And I'm saying this right now because I know this video is going to be watched. The only way to do a long grind, and it's the big problem with long grinds because everyone wants instant gratification. It's the reason why TikTok is the most popular form of social media. Everyone wants short-term gratification. And if you want to still appease people who like the long grinds, have multiple short grinds with an eventual goal to a long-term grind. There should be, maybe not every week give a bunch of these cards. There is nothing wrong with giving multiple lower levels of Iguodala. And would it be, like, people are going to be like, the grinds are ridiculous. But you know what? People will still complain, but they'll be a lot more happy than this. At least people have the option of being like, you know what? Maybe make the Amethyst Iguodala like 70% as good. And then the people that want the best card in the game can go and get themselves, let's just say you complete all of these. Just maybe not these challenges. These challenges are dumb. They genuinely are dumb. Just these type of play the game. Because like no reasonable person's playing this amount of the game of the week. And basically, you do like Daryl Griffith challenges, but make them almost like the Baylor challenges where they are a ridiculous grind. But on the way, you just get lower versions of the player. And then, I don't know, for people that only want to play a few just for card collectors, you give them their extra cards. You give a couple of more people. If you want to play a little bit of the game, you might get the Ruby, and the Ruby might be just about usable, and you're like, you know what? I just want to have fun. I'm going to get Elgin Baylor. I just want to use Elgin Baylor. Or if you're not good enough to complete the challenge, you still get an Elgin Baylor. And I know people are going to get really angry with that suggestion, being like, why would we want the not best version of the card? But that's the problem. That's the problem. You're the 1%. You're the 1%. There is a way to appease both the 1% and the 95%. There are ways of doing that. There genuinely are ways of appeasing both the 1 and the 95%. The issue is that, or say not the 195, that's 96%, the 5% and the 95%. There is ways of doing that. Multiple short-term grinds, multiple short-term things, like options for people to get, with an overarching long-term grind at the end for collecting all of the short-term grinds. It's simple. It's a simple way that you can implement the long-term grind because there are people that really like this, and I understand why they like it. But this being the only thing in the game to grind is these long-term grinds being the only thing actively are driving away all your players. There is no point grinding anything short-term. And then you might say, oh, level 40 is that. Come on, man. Look at these level 40 rewards. Look at how bad these are. I'm sorry, like 75 tokens for 111,000 XP. 111,000 XP. That's like 30 hours of playing for 75 tokens. That's worthless. That is worthless. Like, you can't, like, there has to be better rewards. And then you look at last year's, all the free packs we've gotten. Like, you see here, Season 1 Deluxe Award Pack. Why couldn't at level 29, Season 1 Amethyst untradeable? No reason for that. Because they're untradeable. They're untradeable cards. Just, why not give us some better cards? Because this is ridiculous. There's nothing, and it's not even that there's nothing to grind for. Because you can always say you can just ignore it and just go and play the game. And I agree with that, you can. But you're also putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. And anyone who says budget players can succeed this year, my God. My freaking God, you're going to struggle. Like, I got a decent squad right here. Tyson Chandler and Giannis, him. Like, if I come up against a dude running the best team in the game, I'm going to get bopped. Like, the gap between... Like, these two guys are insane. But, like, these were two incredible grinds I did. If you want to buy the best auctionable point guard for 15,000 MT, you're going and buying yourself... Like, let's just say you have 100,000 MT to build a squad with nothing else. You're getting a low-level Sohan, if even. You're going and getting yourself Kelly Chapuka, Robert Reed. You are getting your ass handed to you. So anyone who says budget players can... I am the biggest proponent of budget players have a chance. Not this year. Not this year. Token players are. Some of them are okay. And just okay. Just okay. But this is a case of a game mode intentionally being catered for competitive players who want to consistently get the best cards, while also being a game mode that nobody gives a damn about playing competitively. There's a reason why unless is the 250k finals. Nobody cares about competitive. There's a reason why, if you look at the biggest like MyTEAM tournaments like 2K Legends, there are less than 50 entries. Nobody gives a damn about playing this game competitively. This is not an esport. This is a casual sports game that 2K have essentially turned into some sort of combination between a bad esport, tried to turn into some sort of combination between a bad esport and a freemium game. Like, it's just bad, and it is actively driving players away. And am I making this argument from a selfish perspective to an extent? Yes, I am. I would much rather smaller grinds. And am I making this from a selfish perspective in the fact that more frequent grinds, more achievable grinds, more doable grinds makes my job easier as a content creator, makes it easier for me to create content, and therefore is better for me financially? Yes, I think I am doing that. But at the end of the day, the most beneficial thing for me is that as many people as possible play the game. And I think that's what the most beneficial thing is possible for 2K. And they have missed the mark so badly on this. They have appeased the 5% at the top. And they have. And I want to put it out there. I think that they've done a lot of good things. I actually think that by the end of this year, I'm going to look back on this video, hopefully, and say, you know what, 2K improved a lot, and this was the best year of my team, because I think that's going to be the case. I really do. I think that with the positive changes from into the unlimited game mode, I think that the centerpieces being the rewards for all the game modes, it was a good idea, but like, imagine you could have all 5 centerpieces now and they're playing modes for nothing right now. You can't even get you can't even lock in for the cards. I think that the negatives, they need somebody involved in the decision making that is going to look through every one of their decisions with a fine-tooth comb and point out all the potential negatives to them, because I can see why these decisions were made. One thing I can't see why pack odds were halved. I can't see why pack odds were down from 14 to 7. I can't see why pack odds were halved. But I can see why every other decision was made. The issue is that while I understand why they were made, they were the complete wrong decisions. The complete wrong decisions. And the only thing is, I think they're going to be too far in for the season. Thankfully, with the seasons concept, we can see things all change. We can see everything change. I like the takeover concept. I like how takeover has replaced RNG. I like the fact you can grind them and you can grind them in agendas. Heck, I like the Donovan Mitchell grinds. But this is too much. This is too much. And I'm luckily enough in a position where I can say this. And I actually think this is overall a good game. But there is a huge overarching flaw with MyTEAM, and it's the lack of accessibility for people that don't have full-time job hours, that have other things in their life. This is not the pandemic anymore. You can't make decisions on a game based on what worked when you were at your boom peak in the pandemic when we were all locked inside. You can't do that. Simply put, it cannot happen. People have lives now. And understandable, there are people that want to play that amount of hours, but there has to be stuff that caters for people of all different aspects of the game. No money, like there are ways. Everybody's like, oh, you can't please no money spent players, people that want the best cards, people that want to grind loads, people that want to grind short amount of cards. Yes, you can. It is doable. It is more than doable. And the fact that people saying they can't please everybody, I don't think you can please everybody, but what I think they can do is make it so that at least people of all different types, people of all different ways of playing the game have a reason to play the game, and don't just log in at 4 p.m. or whatever time, 11 a.m. Eastern, see, oh crap, this is absolutely ridiculous, and then turn off their console. Because when there is an alternative, when FIFA comes out, when it is this direct sports game competition, every one of those players is going to be just waiting the 2 hours to see what content FIFA give, and they're not going to come back to 2K. I think that if this keeps up, such a sour taste is going to be left in people's mouths that they quit this game and never come back. And that is the biggest issue. And it's, again, selfishly, my biggest issue, because if people quit this game and never come back, it's my views that are tanking, it's my revenue that's tanking. It is, at the same time, I would love to play this game. Why I'm arguing this is it slightly selfishly? Yeah, I'll admit it. I'm self-aware enough to admit that my judgment is definitely clouded based on the fact that it is extremely beneficial for my job. But I also think that what I'm saying needs to be said and would be beneficial for the vast majority of the player base. So anyway, that's the video. Just say half an hour round. I hate having to post this on the DBG channel. This is not what I want to do this year. I wanted to just have fun, make some better content on this channel, but this video is too important to not go on this channel. Sorry about the rambling, but at the same time, I'm DBG. This is what I can do. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.